Hey everyone, it's MrKikz, and do you remember in my last video when I said nothing comes out perfect the first time, so if it's not looking great, don't give up, don't beat yourself up, just sort of keep plugging away at it, and it will get better. Yeah, well, welcome to this video. Welcome back to my desert of creation. And today we're going to be building a Shy Guy, and my oh my, did this Shy Guy make me want to cry. This was a tough build, guys. I've felt like quitting a couple of times throughout this one, but then I remembered my own sage-like advice from the last episode and thought, no, this is going to be a good example of perseverance and keeping going, even in the face of a shitty-looking build, to just try and keep perfecting it and narrow it down, get it to something that looks good in the end. So I didn't give up. I kept plugging away at it. There may have been some, you know, sad Keanu moments in between some of the edits in this video. I went to go and sit on a sofa looking sad and contemplate life. But I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I kept coming back for more punishment. And I kept plugging away. So that's what this video is essentially. It's not going to look good for most of the video. There may be a few clenched bum holes out there. People just, no! It looks terrible! You're doing it wrong! Yeah, I was doing it wrong, yeah. I realised this, thank you. So yeah, relax the bum holes, people. Relax them. It all looks alright in the end. It's okay. It's okay. Don't relax them too much, though. We don't want any accidents. But yeah, just relax. We'll get through this together. Don't worry. Okay, anyway, so you might be wondering why there's a roof tile on the desert floor there, and that's because of a technique I found out about after I'd finished my last video, where if you put a building piece down and then add scenery pieces to that, it acts as one object. And you can see I'm having a bit of difficulty here because the same technique I used in the last video, where I selected everything, then deselected, you know, the bits I didn't want, wasn't quite working using this method, which was I was not expecting. It was a bit weird. So this technique not working too well for me. I can completely see where it would be useful. Say if you were building something that repeats a pattern over and over again, or you know, you build one thing and copy it multiple times, like building fencing or something like that. Great technique, perfectly sound technique to use in, you know, in that case. For building, well, for me anyway, for building these characters, it didn't feel like it really helped much. I had to go in and select all of these shapes individually to get them to copy over without making a blueprint, which, you know, not really much of a time saver for me. More of a hindrance than a help, I'd say. So I gave it a try anyway. I gave it a whirl. I wanted to sort of talk about it in this video, and, you know, there it is. I don't know, horses for courses. There's a lot of different techniques to, you know, have varying results. This one, yeah, not that useful to me, for my purposes anyway. But, you know, it's got a place. There's no right way or wrong way to do stuff. There's just ways. And, yeah, this one didn't really work out as well as I'd hoped for me. But, again, I've already told you, it's got uses elsewhere. Just a little bit awkward for me, for my purposes anyway. So yeah, Shy Guy. Oh, Shy Guy. Nearly made me a Shy Guy. Honestly, I was debating whether to finish it, as I've already said, sort of partway through the build, and yeah, just debating whether to put this video out until I thought, you know, well, no, it's useful. Again, it's exactly what I said in the last video, and it shows that off. A lot. It's to keep going, keep trying. I had a lot of troubles, but I kept plugging away and got something, you know, that looks like a Shy Guy in the end. I'll leave it up to you as to whether it's a good Shy Guy or not. You might think it's terrible, but for my purposes, after I thought I was pretty proud after the trouble I'd had, and all my sad Keanu moments that I actually got it done in the end. So yeah, yeah, it's just the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, I'm kind of running out of Mario characters at this point. There's only so many left that I can do. It's not a very big list. Shy Guy was something I contemplated doing, but I thought I might have some troubles with it. There's other characters I feel that way about as well. I've been wanting to do Koopa Troopers for a while, but looking at them and looking at the shells, I think I might have a little bit of difficulty pulling those off as well. The detail on the shell is kind of an important thing, and I don't think I can do that justice with the shapes that I've got. And you know, I think I would have to use flat shapes in order to get those sort of hexagonal shell sections to work out right. But I'd have to bend them around the shell, and that'd be difficult. There'd be a lot of sort of straight, flat edges at weird angles poking out. I think it'd look a bit weird. I might try it, I might give it a go, but it kind of feels like I'm destined for failure with that one. And I kind of felt that way about Shy Guy before I started. I thought that it's not so much an overly complex character or anything like that, but there is a lot of nuance. There's a lot of subtlety going on with the Shy Guy, particularly the sort of folds of the fabric of the cloak and things like that. I wasn't really sure I'd be able to get those done. I mean, I had some ideas. Turns out those ideas didn't really work out that well, and maybe that was to do with the scale. I mean, I try and keep my characters to scale as often as possible. Shy Guy's a pretty short, little, squat, kind of toad-size characters. You know, as you might have seen, Luigi's taller than Mario, and Bowser's a little bit taller than the both of them, but maybe not quite as tall as he should be. But I try and keep them in scale as much as possible. So I was working a little smaller here. I wasn't using the biggest shapes available. I was working, you know, with the sort of next step down, just to make it come off as a little bit smaller. But the smaller you go with these shapes, the more difficult it is to try and get details in. I don't think it would have been much better if it hadn't made, you know, the Shy Guy bigger. I think it still wouldn't have worked in the ways I'd hoped. As you see here, I'm trying to sort of construct this sort of donut so I can maybe create like a little rounded area above where the belt will go in, to try and sort of have the fabric look like it's being cinched in by the belt and sort of flop over. As you might see when I place it, it doesn't really work. I had a go, but it didn't really work out quite like I'd hoped it would, which is a shame. But you know, you'll see. It will come together. I will correct all these things that look a bit off eventually. But yeah, everything I first sort of put down kind of gets corrected at some point. Because like even here you can see the mask looks okay from the front, but if I swing around and do some swoopy action around the side, it looks a little bit too chunky, and there's a little bit too much going on there for it to look like a mask. It just kind of looks like sort of turtling, sticking the head forward, peeking out. It kind of looks a bit weird. So you know, I wasn't feeling that in the end. But I'm talking about stuff that's happening in the future. Look at me. I'm still trying to explain it away before you see it. It doesn't look good. It's fine. It works out in the end. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to go back to this sort of the character creation thing and what I've got left in terms of what I can create. Some people have asked me to do characters like Princess Peach, and of course I would love to do Princess Peach. She's iconic character in the Mario universe or Mario Galaxy. I just can't really do her justice. I really want to, but again, it's one of these things. I don't feel like I should even try starting to build, because I know for a fact by the time I get to her hands, her fingers are really thin, and so are her hands, and that whole sort of glove section is got a lot of very fine detail in it, and there's not really any shapes at the minute, at least. I don't know whether these are ever going to get expanded, that allow you to do these sort of very thin shapes. The smallest shape that is rounded or could be used as a finger is still quite sort of fat and short, and I don't think hands would look right. And I don't even know if there's any way I can really hide those either. So it's just something I've been avoiding for that fact that I just think, just by looking at it, just trying to do that thing where you break down what you're looking at into smaller shapes and try and picture them being pieced together. Doing that, no, I feel like it's just not something I can accomplish. And the same goes for Waluigi. I mean, I've done a Wario, people were asking where's Waluigi. I had it in mind while I was building Wario. I was like, okay, Wario's looking good. I'll make Waluigi next. And when I came to look at Waluigi, realised, no, his mustache can't really be done. Wario's could be. I could use sort of these flat shapes and bury them in his cheeks, so it would look like there's only a little bit of moustache sort of peeking out at the front. Waluigi's not the same. He's kind of got he's kind of got these sort of really thin mustache that you can't hide in his face, because it sort of pokes out to the front, sticks up and pokes out away from his face, so I can't really hide shapes in his face. I could maybe try it, but I think it'd look wrong, and it wouldn't really work out, especially he's got really thin gangly limbs as well, and I don't think they'd look right if I tried to create those. You may see it. You may see me try. Like at some point I might come back to these and revisit them and just really try and have a crack at the characters. I've not attempted yet, because I think I can't do them, just based on sort of past building experience and things like that. So yeah, I can't make all the characters, guys. I really wish I could, but there are just certain ones I don't think I can build, or build them close enough to look like what they're meant to be in the end. And as you can see, Shy Guy was a bit rough as I was working through. I mean, it kind of looks like there's some Shy Guy boobs at the minute, especially that folded of fabrics, just looking like some boobs. Yeah, that's not really working out. As you can see, not great. There was a lot of that going on in this. I don't really like the bottom section either. And this is again where those sort of demotivational moments came from. But I tried to look past that. I was looking at it and going, no, let's see what else I can move on to here. And I do this thing where I work on the straps to go around and like connect to the mask. But even doing this now, I can see that that doesn't really look like it connects to the mask in any way, because they've got this sort of overhang. So I know I'm going to have to go back and correct that later on. I've just not done it yet. I'm just trying to work on the things that work at this moment, and just sort of trying to lock into things that I think might look alright, and try and get those done, and then assess, well, if I've got this right, I might be able to go back and fix some of those details a little bit later, which is what's going on here. So yeah, all of this is just a really, really rough process of just sort of trial and error at this point. So yeah, I mean, I got a little, talking about the demotivation, I got quite, there was a lot of that going on in this, during this build. I mean, I cut it out, but this build ended up being about 2 hours long, and I cut a lot of footage out before I even sped this footage up. There was a lot of just me staring at it, or just walking away. Like I say, just going and having a sad Keanu moment on the sofa with a cup of tea. Just having a mini existential crisis. So yeah, and that led me to sort of think about, well, in terms of making these videos anyway, in terms of making these character videos, that I might move on. I mean, it's not just the creation. I don't mind the creation of these characters. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. That doesn't bother me so much. But the editing of these videos is really, really difficult for me. I mean, it's a really, really slow process. I mean, I'm new to the scene. It might just be me being a bit of a greenhorn and not really knowing the ins and outs of editing software and things like that. I mean, I'm already using the wrong software. I'll put that out there. I'm using After Effects, which is not an editing program. You're not supposed to, use it in that way. It does what it says on the tin, and that's after you've made a video, add some effects to it. So yeah, I really should be using something else. I'm just not quite sure what I should be using. I'm getting a lot of rendering errors in After Effects, so I'm considering moving on to using Premiere Pro or something like that, but then I hear you can get a lot of errors with that, and it might be the same situation over again. So I'm just kind of looking for something different to use to edit these videos, and if that makes things a little bit easier, then I'll come back to doing these. If I can churn them out quicker, then it takes like 4 days of work to get a 20-minute video out. That's rough. That's a bit of a rough ratio. So yeah, if anyone's got any anyone does these sort of videos where they take a lot of footage and edit it down and time lapse and things like that, are there any alternative editing software that can do the same sort of stuff. But yeah, is, you know, not going to cost me an arm and a leg, because, you know, not got a lot of money, guys. Yeah, if anyone can offer any advice, I'd be really appreciative if you just, you know, leave it in the comments. Thanks in advance for that, guys. That'd help a lot. So yeah, he's sort of coming together now. He's not looking too bad. But again, it's off. I can tell it's off. I've still not, you know, zoned in on exactly why, but I get there in the end. At this point, yeah, I'm just sort of reworking the mask now. I've noticed that. I've also noticed, to be honest, I've noticed that the cloak, the skirty bit of the cloak, is looking a bit wrong as well. But I'm not, you know, I just thought the mask would be easier to work on first. If I get that looking right, then it might give me the motivation to fix the rest of the character. So yeah, just use one of these Smarty shapes. I don't know whether you have Smarties wherever you're from, but that's what this reminds me of. I don't know. If you don't have Smarties, you'll have something that looks like that. There'll be a candy or a sweet that reminds you of this. Mentos, maybe? Something like that. Maybe. Well, definitely when I turn it white. So yeah, and I think that looks better than the semi-sphere. Semi-sphere, is that a word? It is now. I used it. It's official. So yeah. But speaking of moving on to other things anyway, I've been thinking of moving on to maybe doing some Let's Play videos for Planet Coaster, or just some roller coaster builds or something like that. I'm thinking they might be a little bit easier to edit while I'm having difficulties anyway. Just trying to work all this stuff out. Because I'm new, you know, I'm new on the scene. So I thought, yeah, I mean, there's an idea I've had for quite a while now. I've wanted to do a Bowser's Castle roller coaster, which I thought someone would do eventually. After I built the Bowser, I thought, well, someone's going to do something with that eventually, but I've not seen any of that pop up yet. The internet's a big place. Maybe most people, you know, obviously haven't seen Bowser, or, you know, I've not seen any creations made with him yet, in that way at least. So yeah, I thought I'd have a crack at it myself, and I've been quite excited to do that, and get that going. So I thought, well, maybe I could turn that into a Let's Play. I don't know, I'm quite a slow builder, so, you know, if I'm catching real-time footage, yeah, I don't think I'd get through that much in that way. I don't think in half an hour I've probably, you know, plopped down one pillar of a castle. And that's not a very satisfying episode, so I'm not really sure. I'll see how it goes. You might just, the next thing that pops up on this channel will probably be Bowser's Castle, in one form or another. It'll either be a walkthrough or something like that, or maybe I'll figure out a way to do Let's Plays or something. I'll figure it out, but yeah, I'm really excited to move on to that. I'll still be making these characters. There's a few more I think I could do justice and create, but yeah, they'll just go up on the Steam Workshop, and they're not necessarily every one of them's not necessarily going to have a video attached. Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe I might work on a Donkey Kong or something like that. I think I can do DK. Yeah, that feels right to me. That feels like it's something I could do. I wish I could do Princess Peach, I really do. I wish there are a couple of characters that I've looked at thinking, it'd be great. I'm just not sure whether I can do them and have them look right. Mainly just sort of rounded characters and things like that look the best. Anything thin or gangly, it kind of looks a little bit weird. You get a lot of freedom using rounded shapes, that if you've got to create something thin, there's only a very small sort of workable handful of shapes you can use for that, and they don't blend very well into other shapes either. But as you can see, I'm nearly there with Shy Guy. There's only one little correction I really need to make this come together, and I do it here. Look, that was all it took. It was just too tall. It's just too tall. How easy was that? So yeah, it came together in the end. I think it looks okay there. Not necessarily 100% accurate, but definitely, you know, that looks good enough to me. So yeah, maybe all those sad Keanu moments paid off. Sitting on a sofa in the rain. An outdoor sofa. Sitting on or a bench, as they're also known. That's what we call them. That's what we call them in England. We call them outdoor sofas. They're not benches. Outdoor sofas. So yeah, that's Shy Guy. Nearly done. I'm not quite happy with the arms yet, so I give them a little tweak, but yeah. Not bad. Not great. It's not the best work I've done, but yeah, definitely not bad. Looks like a Shy Guy at least, and that's good enough for me. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for stopping by again, guys. I do really appreciate you coming around and having a look at the videos. And yeah, stay tuned. Bowser's Castle coming up next. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Seriously.